Call to order the regular meeting of Paintsville City Council, Monday, September 12th, 2016. And clerk, call the roll, please.
Bill Mike.
Here.
Thomas. David.
Here.
Jim.
Here.
Sarah.
Here.
Sean.
Here.
Mention that Councilman Daniels is out of town working and couldn't make it this evening. Any additions or corrections to the minutes of the regular meeting of August 8th or the special meeting of August 23rd?
Make a motion that those minutes be approved. Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Any questions or comments concerning departmental reports?
And again, on ambulance service looked good for 2 months. I mean,
Yeah.
They look good at the end of the year, but look good for 2 months too. So,
Yeah, they're once again on the expense side.
yeah, that's what I mean.
That's where it is, yeah.
Where we, yeah, compared to our revenue, we still looking good.
Make a motion to approve. Second. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Could we also have a motion to pay the bills as presented, please?
I'll make that motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 2 or 3 things I want to mention before we get started here. First of all, Julie Bush isn't here, is she? Okay. Some of y'all may have noticed, most of y'all probably haven't, that we've made some alterations in how we're doing our pickup of trash that has been set out on odd days beside the curb. And we virtually had to do that. We're charging in advance for those special pickups. And the reason we had to do that is we found that things were appearing, and the people whose house they were sitting in front of, you often didn't even know where they came from. So we were getting a tremendous amount of furniture and construction material and things of that nature that were set out on the curb, and it was getting very expensive to pick that up. So we regret the hardship on the honest individuals, but that's the way it usually works. You start doing something to help somebody, and somebody decides they can get around it and save themselves some money by not being particularly honest. But so we are. If anyone needs special trash pickups, small amounts, we still pick it up like we always did. But if we have to bring out special trucks to get it and things of that nature, and backhoes to load it and so forth, we that along with the dumping fees that go along with it, we felt like we needed to charge for that. I want to announce, if you didn't read in the paper, that we had the ribbon cutting on the boat ramp at the river this week, and there will be a paddle fest coming up, I believe on the 24th. Tourism will be having that thing, and they'll be using that boat ramp. And actually drove up there Saturday, and there were several cars parked there and people using that. So it's going to be a good thing, and certainly we would look forward to the day we can have some campgrounds surrounding that and draw some additional tourism to the area with it. I want to thank Fish and Wildlife for actually paying for and doing the construction on that ramp.
They blacktop, it looks good.
Yeah, they did.
There, I didn't get a chance to come up, but I saw the blacktop. It looks really good.
Yeah, I'm glad they did it. I've complained about it for 2 or 3 years, but because it took so long. But they ended up spending about 10 times the amount of money on it we would have have we done it internally.
Like you said, I come down there Saturday, and I count 6, 7 cars, or,
Yeah,
parked in there diagonally on the blacktop, so it's like it's getting used,
Yeah.
already, so.
I want to also announce that that we have signed the contract, executed the contract on the sidewalk work that's to be done, and it's supposed to start this week. So those of you on 3rd Street and Elm Street and Church Street and West Street may have some inconvenience from torn up sidewalks, where they'll be taking all that sidewalk out and replacing it with new. It's not just a patch job, it's a new sidewalk deal. First item of business on the agenda is the second reading of amendment to the mobile, what we'll call the mobile home ordinance, which will prohibit once again mobile homes from being set up outside of mobile home parks in the city of Paintsville. Jeff, you got something on that?
Amendment to Code of Ordinances, Chapter 152.01, Mobile Homes, House Trailers Within City Prohibited. Whereas the city ordinance is codified as Section 152.01 was amended by way of amended ordinance 2005-007, which was passed by the Paintsville City Council on December 13, 2005. And whereas the City Council, City of Paintsville, desires to repeal the prior amendment, now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Paintsville, Kentucky, that the above state ordinance shall be amended to provide as follows. Section 152.01, it shall be unlawful to place or locate within the city any mobile homes or house trailers or any structure transported on its own wheels for commercial or residential use.
We need a motion, I guess,
Roll call.
to accept second reading.
I'll make a motion that we accept this amended ordinance.
I'll say.
A second, and we will have a roll call vote.
Bill Mike,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
Sean.
Yes.
Let me ask one question, Bob. I know it goes along with this, the double wide up here is what caused all the controversy.
Yeah.
Are they gonna comply with all the, putting the door facing the street and all that?
Well, I think they're going to have to, Jim. We've
Okay, I mean, I just asked, because I noticed I drove by there yesterday, and then they hadn't, looked like they hadn't done any lot of work,
we've asked the utilities to company to not connect any utilities until they get a final certificate on that. So
I was
yeah,
just curious,
good thought.
Somebody asked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Item number 2 is an item you've seen before. First reading of amendment to ordinance to the sewer rate ordinance that would increase sewer rates. I think what we're looking at is the last proposal that was given to us by the utilities. Any additional discussion on that or thoughts at this time?
How close are we to where they're gonna be fined?
Bob stood up, so I'm gonna let him speak to that.
There's no answer in terms of when they would actually start finding us. I have found out a little bit on the funding, including the $2.1 million grant. At 5 years from the time of commitment of those funds to complete the project, we're about 2.5 years into that, and it's projected to be about an 18-month project once it gets actually started. Not a whole lot of time left within that funding package.
So we don't know. I don't think anybody knows.
Can you care to explain again the increase in how it is, like talking, just explain exactly?
The latest proposal that we came up with was for a $4 increase on the minimum rate up to 2,000 gallons a month.
All right, now let's stop right.
Sure.
How many residents actually use only 2,000 a month?
You said the average was between 2,000 and 3,000, didn't it, last time?
It's in the packet here. It shows, so, I mean, just up to 2,000 residential's 585 customers
Out of,
Yeah, that's what's on there.
out of 2,000 customers.
3,300.
Yeah, actually, you're looking at 664 if you exclude
That's-
all the buildings there. It's 34% of your customers for 2,000 gallons below, on average.
and how many percent users? 3,000,
When you get to 3,000, you're up to 53%,
okay? And 4,000.
69%. 5,000 is 80%.
Any way we can go to 5,000, Bob, and you know, I mean, to lighten the burden some and still make it work.
I'm not sure I follow your question.
Any way we can go with the minimum of the $4 up to 5,000 gallons and lighten the burden on, cause that's gonna catch most of the people that use the average amount of water.
I'd go for 4,000.
Well, I mean,
Well,
either
I
4 or
think-
5, David. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I just do 5 out there, okay?
That's a good-
But, I mean, you know what I'm saying is I'm an average working person, okay? You are too, most of you, all of us are. Okay, that's the one that's gonna hurt, you know what I'm saying? So, is there any way we can,
If you do that, to generate the required income for the
Yeah.
indebtedness,
Yes.
you'd have to raise the percentage above that.
well,
Above
that,
15%.
can't we do that? That's what I'm saying, because they're the biggest users, so, you know, they're the ones that, you know, we're the smaller group, as I've said before. I think we need to adjust this thing a little bit, you know what I mean? That's just my opinion, I don't, council feels, but that's just the way I feel all along. I think we need to go, like you said, if we go to 4,000, I'm be satisfied with it, if you can make the numbers work like that, I mean,
What are you saying, Jim, that you'd keep that $4 increase up to?
up to 4,000 and then.
Up to 4,000?
Yeah,
And
and
then,
then start tearing it up, Bob, you know what I mean?
instead of making the percentage so much after, I think the
I don't know.
majority of
Yeah, I
households
don't
use
know.
4,000, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that if you could go back and figure that out and see if you could do it, I mean, I'd be willing to listen to that. I mean, I really would.
You understand though that it's gonna be a bigger than a 15% increase above that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but they're the major users, you know, so that's, you know what I'm saying, so they can stand it.
Do you have any guess what, you say it would be above a 15%, would you be talking about 16% or are we talking about 30%?
Do more than
More
50.
than that, more.
I say you're talking at least 20. Just keep in mind that the bulk of your customers are down on the lower end. So you're shifting that load to a relatively small number of customers, so your percentage has to go up a considerable amount.
And there,
And, you know, I mean, just so we know, we talk about in terms of this customer or whatever, I mean, let's go ahead and say, I mean, it's school systems, it's, you know, potential future employers, it's the hospital, you know, I mean, this is
Yeah,
what
it's
we're
our-
talking
it's our
about.
largest
You know,
employers in the
we
area.
keep just saying, you know, just the prison up there, and we go, oh, well, that's the federal government, let's just go ahead and put it on their backs, but it's not just, you know, what we
No, I
mentioned.
understand that.
And some of your governmental entities, your housing authority, you know,
Well, here's the thing, you know, they announced on the radio this morning that, coal company in West Virginia, the big one over there, laying off another 118 people, okay, give them 60-day notice. I mean, you know, we're just facing that every day, you know, so those are the working people, and that's what I'm concerned with, you know what I mean? So that's what's got me worried with this.
Well, I'm concerned about, and we're concerned about the businesses too, because
Yeah,
we
I
don't
mean,
want a
yeah, we
business
want-
to
we want to
leave.
keep
But
the
if
businesses,
their
yeah.
utility bill's gonna be prohibitive for them to carry on business,
that's a problem.
then, you know, then
Then when we anybody working to pay,
anyway,
go to business
yeah,
anyway, you know
so,
what
I mean,
so.
surely goodness they can, I don't know, it's
I
a
mean-
bad situation and it's
It's
a
a hard
bad time to,
It's
to
a hard
put that on,
decision.
yeah,
It really is.
to put it on people.
Why don't you work them numbers, Bob, and see up to 4,000, see how that would go, and see how many, what you'd have to do. I mean, just give us an idea, that way we can go with that. I mean, I'd like to entertain that.
4,000?
Yeah.
I'd like to see numbers worked up on 4, and I'd like to see numbers worked up on 5.
That'd
Well, I'd
be
be
good
fine.
too.
I suggested 5, Bill.
But I understand where you're going with that. The higher percentage it's gonna be on
The other end,
on
yeah.
the other end if you go to 5. I got you. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, we have to make
Well,
sure
it's
that,
because we won't be paying it.
No,
but
that's
they-
right.
and we can't have a higher percentage on the larger users than on on the Laurels, gotta be real careful on that, but we'll work those numbers too.
But we'd still be paying the $4. Everybody's bill would go up $4.
Why, let me ask you this. When this started out, it was a straight $8.29, correct? But then the higher users, then there was still a percentage put on it that if you use more than 3,000 gallons, correct? Or was it straight
No,
$8?
it was just $8.29 on everybody, period.
Yeah, and so
Yeah,
when he
there wasn't
came,
any percentage or anything like
so when he
that.
came with the flat 829, it didn't make any logical sense. If somebody uses 2,000 gallons, it's bumped up, 40%. But then somebody who uses 1,000,000 gallons pays the same increase. So they went back and they came back to us and said, okay, we'll do a flat $4 across the board, and we'll do 15% above 2,000 gallons and 7.5% above 100,000 gallons.
What do you actually borrow?
Borrowing this is 4.9 million. It's
And you said it takes 40 years to pay it off?
it's 40-year loan,
Gee.
which is fairly typical.
Is there a prepayment penalty?
There won't be any of us around when it paid off, will there?
There is not.
The only other thing I can add to all this is something I've learned recently is that, in effect, we cannot extend sewer lines or add major customers to the sewer until this happens. So
Yeah,
something happens.
that's one of the first actions they would probably take against us would be a no tap ban, so there would be no residences or anything we could add, if we don't get in compliance.
We don't get the people back to work. Don't worry about it. We got houses selling. I got a house trying to sell it, so I know what it is.
Well, would anyone like to make a motion to pass it? Or would anyone like to make a motion to table it till we?
I make a motion that he go back and figure that on, like you said, Bill, about 4,000 or 5,000 gallons, then bring it back.
I'll get it as close to that as I can, and still make the percentages across the board, not be discriminatory system. You gotta be careful about that.
Was there a second to that?
I second Jim's motion.
Is that what we'd like to do? All in favor?
You all agree with that?
One thing I would
I think
add
that was
to the,
unanimous.
Wait,
I think it's lower than that. Straight.
before we go on, go ahead.
the other thing I was going to add there that I am curious about is, with the amount you're borrowing, what that payback looks like in terms of what we're asking the customers to pay for. So, on this spreadsheet here, we're increasing the rates, this percentage. So, what will that be as far as in terms of
The increase,
well, what you will receive in increase in
Each
revenue?
month, each month.
annually, you're looking at about 300,000,
Okay.
which is roughly what you need to cover the debt service. And in that debt service.
So the debt service you're saying would be about 300,000 for 40 years?
No, it doesn't work out over the 40 years, because after probably about 10,
Yeah.
some of your reserves are fully funded unless you use them. And you gotta refund them.
Why don't you, Bob, when you bring back that other information, can you bring an amortization schedule as well,
If they will provide an actual schedule to me.
or the best you can? Because that's a valid question.
I've had some people call about, and I'm sure everybody here has had people ask about it, but I'd like more input from people too. I'd like to know how they feel about it too.
I'm sure they feel just like us. They don't wanna raise it.
Yeah,
Well, I have to object to your comment.
Oh, you really?
Yeah, because
I'm not saying.
if we don't get these sewers fixed, I'll be out $2,000 if it collapses or whatever, and the poor people over there on Walnut, their sewer
Oh, I saw
lines,
that.
they were out
Yeah.
without. This has to be
Yeah,
done.
it does.
So bite the bullet and do it.
We're not saying that
We're
it's
not-
not
we
going
know
to
it
be
has to
done.
be
We're
done.
just trying to get it
We're
done
trying
as
not to
cheap
put
as
the
we
burden
can.
on the,
On it, yeah.
on the main,
Well, but you're trying to pass the load to these people that are employing people in Paintsville, and they're gonna look at the sewer rate that Paintsville has. We're not gonna bring a business in here.
That's what's gonna happen anyway.
Those are all, those,
Yeah, we said if the rate's decent.
That's what we're trying to do.
We wanna do it, Dodie, and we know we have to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt we have to do it.
Right.
I mean, it has to be done.
This goes back to also, Dodie, that, you know, people in the city of Paintsville, like I said, for the last 6 or 7 months, in the last year, their taxes have gone up 10%, counting school tax, occupational tax, and other things. And I mean, it's getting to the point to where it's just hard to do.
Tell me about it, I've got two
I know,
houses I'm paying on.
I understand.
Yeah,
I've got two houses, I know.
I'd like to continue this discussion, but we need to move on.
Okay.
You wanna go
Thank you, Dodie, for your thoughts on that.
Did we,
I got a motion in a second, but they need to vote.
Yeah, we do, we need to pass it.
All in favor? Opposed? Next item number 3 is to set the property tax rate for 2016. In your packet is a worksheet. The front page of that worksheet.
I'll make a motion to keep it the same.
I second it.
Any further discussion on that?
No.
Nope.
All in favor? Opposed? Okay. That was at .1870, was that right, Virgie?
Mm-hmm.
Last year, usually we renew health insurance on July 1, but last year, because of anticipation of the effect of the, I guess what we'll call the Obamacare, we anticipated that may, if we could get a longer term, we would, and we got a 15-month renewal on it last year, so it is now due for October 1st. We've had the our agent working on this, and I've been working with them. And Anthem first came back with a 13% increase. The agent got them down to 9%, and we badgered them until they finally got it down to 4%. So the proposal is a 4% increase to keep the same coverage. The alternative is to keep the same premiums we have now. We would have to go from an 80-20 program to a 70-30 program and increase the out-of-pocket expenses for our employees. And I'd like to recommend that, I don't know if y'all have had a chance to look at the last page in your packet. I'd like to recommend, and we do have enough money in our contingency reserve and so forth to absorb the additional $24,000, I think it is. Is that right, Kim?
20.
yeah, it's 20.
It's
20, okay, 20,000, and provide the same coverage this coming year for our employees. So,
Put that in form of a motion.
Yeah, I just want to ask one question. Who's the agent? Who is our agent on this?
benefit marketing out of
I
Lexington.
don't, okay, I didn't know. Is that,
Yeah.
so this benefit insurance marketing is the agent?
Yes.
Okay, all right, okay, I'm just curious. I didn't
Have
know.
I know it's a service and we don't have to do it, but is this
Anybody
about
else?
anybody else? Is this the lowest bid we can get?
I was gonna say, was anybody else even interested in doing
Yeah, well,
this?
they-
Well, I didn't hear from anybody, but,
Okay.
but basically Anthem is,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know,
They're all kind of.
They're the whole ball game.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
who you get, they'll give you the same rate.
Okay, that's the reason I asked that, so, yeah, I agree with you on keeping the same, sort of, keeping the same thing.
do we have a motion to accept the
I make a
proposal?
motion that we accept the insurance
Second.
and the same.
All in favor? Opposed? Next item number 5 is open the bids on the fire pumper. We have 3 bids, I believe. And I appreciate some of you gentlemen being here tonight. I'm afraid that I'm not sure we'll get to the approval process tonight because we were looking at about 100-page specs on that on those bids. So we'll open them and we'll look at them and we'll announce what they are, the dollar amount, And then we will ask the fire chief and Big Sandy Ad, fire chief and his people, to go back and make sure that the bids meet all the criteria required.
Hold on a minute. This all goes with it.
Is that same?
And that is from Chapman. Whatever it is.
All American Fire Equipment?
Yeah. Here it is. Charlie Chapman, All American Fire Equipment.
Charlie Chaplin.
You're welcome to. Okay.
Don't put that down, though. The first bid from All American Fire is $317,749. Need a safe cracker up here.
Maybe.
May need a paramedic by the time we get through this.
Hope not. After today, maybe.
I want to thank Justin Lewandowski and Patricia Nelson, two of our expected new council members, being here tonight. Appreciate y'all being here.
Where's that get for something? $300,000.
Yeah, this
That's from Deals. That's from Deals. Deals Fire and Safety.
who?
Deals, D-I-L-L-S.
Dills, D-I-L-S, Fire and Safety. Yes. Okay. We have a bid from Dills of $350,691. Now that includes all the equipment and everything, I assume. I don't know if Dills is here.
I assume that the chief's not seen any of these. Since he's cracking them open right now.
No,
Yeah.
we haven't.
Make sure enough got them sealed.
They said deal,
When were you expecting to
Smell.
come in?
That's
About how long is it gonna take you to read
smell the rain.
Smell Fire Apparatus.
this? I'm talking about you. You're
That must be the name of the builder of the truck. And this is the dealer, probably.
Well, there's one alternative, Rick. If you had to do this for 15 years, so you know, hopefully another 15 years before you have to go through it. Need more trucks.
We're gonna milk this for all it's worth. We hadn't had one of these in a while.
That's why we not had to do one 15 years. So.
Yeah.
This one is fleet, 911 fleet and fire equipment. It's H&E on there.
These go with that.
Yes.
Here comes more.
I think the counselor, the attorney should look through all that.
Read that real quick.
It's an all your spare time.
For material.
We're through the first.
A lot of trees out there.
He did read the specs. He did review the specs.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sure, he's a reader.
That's about that way.
That one, over there.
Okay, here we go. Oh, wait a minute, I need it back. It's on the bottom too.
So you're trying your best.
That's the original.
Those copies will be used when we review. When we review them. That's what it's called.
Okay.
You should put an envelope on them like that with the bill.
This bid is from Aaron's Fox.
Aaron's fault.
AHRENS-FOX. Is that correct? If somebody's here from that
It's HME Aaron's Fox.
HME Aaron's Fox. And it is for $360,500. Additionally, of course, as most bids are, it doesn't have to be the low bid. It's the lowest and best bid. So that's another reason we need need everyone to review these and see if there's any discrepancies between bids and see if we're looking at apples to apples. That's going to take a little time, obviously. So,
We have a motion to table it.
so could we have a motion to table this until the specifications are checked by the fire department and Big Sandy had?
Make said motion.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed?
Get that.
Who gives a second?
Got it.
Second to that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, second.
Did we vote on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
Table it.
Yes.
To table it, okay.
Item number 6 is open bids on sirens. We have
2 bids.
two bids on a emergency siren system that will be placed at fire station number 1 to warn us in case of emergencies, hurricanes, tornadoes, landslides, whatever. As everyone remembers, back during the tornado,
Says
we didn't have a system such as that, and it could have saved some lives. Although we lost a couple of lives, and I guess also the flood. It could have made a difference there.
The county's also received a grant for a siren, and it'll be placed at Foothills.
There's just one, it's plural here, the reason I asked, it's siren, was the reason I asked.
Yeah,
One on the-
we have one approved, and the Johnson County has one approved.
Johnson County better be really loud.
Well, I think possibly the plan is that it's going to be loud. I mean, this one will reach to Boone's Camp. But the plan is for additional applications in the future, and this time had additional applications, but they didn't approve the full amounts. Is that correct?
We applied for 2 sirens for the city, but we got awarded enough money for 1 this time, so we'll just keep going until we get all the ones that we need.
The county also applied for 2 and they got 1, so we'll keep applying.
One bid is from Sirens for Cities, Inc. And that bid is $24,093.25. The other bid is from Federal Signal.
What do you think? Signal. I've got Leslie's Hawk.
Mayor, those are supposed to be turnkey installations. Are they indicating that? Delivery and
Yeah, this one's a little more complicated.
if you want, you can just.
Yes, purchase, delivery and turnkey installation of electromechanical outdoor warning sirens with battery backup, pole, radio, decoder, batteries, and all mounting hardware and double lock access doors. Does that
That's everything.
sound like the
Yeah.
right thing? All right. This other one has got multiple quotes within it here, and I'm not sure.
How about give us one of the quotes and we're gonna go ahead and make a motion to table it and let somebody else look at it.
Well, I'm gonna give you the biggest number I see here.
There you go.
It's $23,458.58.
And you've got more figures than that?
Yeah, I've got. They give you several different options here, and I'm not sure what the specs call for, which is something y'all need to.
It could be that there's a difference in the decibels, or it could be that they don't have a closed structure. You want it to be closed so that that's less maintenance. It's completely sealed where it's in the weather, so that the mechanical parts are all protected. So it could be differences like that. And they were in the specs, we told them to note any exceptions, so they could have exceptions to the specification. And so we'll need to review those.
Yeah, we'll need to do the same with this. We did.
Enjoy reading all that.
Yeah, it's a high power rotating unidirectional siren.
Make sure you read it, pay attention to the decibels.
So do we have a motion to table these bids?
I make a motion to table that bid till we hear back from Regina and I guess yeah.
Second.
All in favor?
Either way, we do have enough money in the grant to completely pay for it.
Yeah.
So there won't be any assistance.
Okay.
No, you don't test those things now, Greg. So it's 3 times more.
I'm sure it'll be lunch.
12 o'clock, I get like me in the dark.
Wish they do that again.
The first test that you do is it's very long, the first one, but you'll be doing public announcements for that. You'll know when it's coming.
Kill off a bunch of dogs.
For those dogs that used to howl when the
Everybody
yeah.
sleeping that night too.
Next item, could we have a motion, please, to go into executive session?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
And this is to discuss potential acquisition or sale of real property pursuant to KRS 61.810 subsection B.
I'm going to suggest, and I don't know if y'all object, that's fine, that possibly our 2 new council members join us in executive session. Or our potentially new council members, I'll say that. Trying to get them updated on a thing or two.
Well, just let them know though that they can't.
Yeah, we will.
Contribute to the conversation.
Can everyone please leave except for Justin and Patricia?
Yeah.
Motion to return to regular session, please.
I'll make that motion. Second.
All in favor? Opposed? I'd like to announce there's no action taken in executive session. Move on to council, anything anybody's got from council? Oh, I'll mention, I see a couple of the record services are here. Guys, we hadn't got there yet. Sorry.
I understand
Hey,
that.
you all have had a couple of meetings, right? Have y'all not come up with any concrete agreement yet or anything?
No,
Are you about to get close to it, or?
Well,
Yeah, I mean, I would say so. I mean, initially,
Yeah.
we had to consult with the city attorney, and he wasn't available. We just want to make sure that when we do it this time, that we're crossing every T and dotting every I. But yeah, we're going to have some kind of form of rotation.
Do you think you're gonna have the same standard form that you've used before, Bob, to get that plywood, or think you're gonna come up with a new form or something?
well, we're going to have to update we're updating our compliance or our requirements for records to operate within the city.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
So y'all not finalized that?
No.
Okay, all right.
What about, I know I talked to Virginia just a few minutes ago, but can you give us an update again on the Carter Lane thing?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Sorry. You all had a special meeting recently to approve the hazard mitigation plan.
Mm-hmm.
That's the regional plan. Big Sandy Area Development District puts that together every 5 years. We received word from Region 4, came to the state, Kentucky Emergency Management. They wrote back to me and said, you need to approve your plan before we can approve Carter Lane's grant project. We were still under the old plan. We had just received the new plan. It had just came back approved. I called Mayor Porter, and he immediately scheduled a meeting within the 24 hours that it took him to schedule one. We approved it. You all passed the resolution to approve it, and it was immediately sent on the very next day to the state, not right on to Region 4, so they have it. To my knowledge, there isn't anything else that we need to submit to them. We're just simply waiting on their approval.
Yeah, we have actually even followed up. I don't know if you want me to say this or not, but you followed up with a couple of emails after that saying, hey guys,
Yes.
we sent the plan. We'd like to hear from you, but we haven't heard from you.
And I copy, whenever I do the correspondence with Kentucky Emergency Management Hazard Mitigation Program, I copy the mayor as well, so he knows the efforts that we're making. And also, I met with the executive director on Thursday in Louisville. I was there for a conference. She was attending the same conference. First thing I did when I walked up to her, she said, I don't know about Carter Lane yet. She knew I wanted to ask her about that. So she told me that everything was in line and we were just waiting for the award. So it could be tomorrow. Who knows? So they've been expecting awards any day. She told me that on Thursday. So.
Okay, any questions?
That sounds really good. Can I say something else?
We have a motion to adjourn.
No, could I say something else?
Oh, I'm
before
sorry.
we do that? I understand there's going to be a meeting at the end of this month about the conditions of the people not taking care of their property. That the new committee that you formed, they are getting ready to meet again, correct?
27,
That's correct.
Okay, all right.
6 o'clock, City Hall.
Okay.
Yeah, if any of y'all want to be there, please do.
We kind of didn't have it last month because Mr. Stewart wasn't there.
I
But
understand.
They were still having some difficulty. He had a knee replacement. So we're gonna have it
Six.
with or without him this month.
Yeah, I think
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
we. Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Nobody's opposed.
Who would have opposed? Who would have opposed?
Yeah.